Welcome back to Methodcast, the podcast where we take the big ideas about life, about struggle, about transformation, and we break them down into something simple, something real, something you can actually use. Today, we're talking about something that affects more people than they realize. It's the thing beneath the struggle, beneath the addiction, beneath that feeling of always needing something more. It's called the spiritual malady. Now, I know that word, spiritual, can throw some people off. It sounds vague, maybe even a little too abstract. But I promise, by the time we're done here, this is going to make sense in a way that sticks with you. Because whether you've struggled with addiction or not, you've felt this. That nagging sense that something is missing, that restlessness, that irritability, that feeling of being disconnected from yourself and the world around you. And here's the wild part. Most of us don't even realize we're carrying it. We think we just need to fix our circumstances, get a better job, find the right person, quit the bad habits, get in shape, meditate more, work harder, and yet no matter how much we do, that feeling lingers. That sense that something still isn't quite right. That's the spiritual malady. Now, this idea isn't something I just made up. It comes from Mike L., an author from Alcoholics Anonymous, who wrote an article called The Missing Piece, The Spiritual Malady. His whole argument? That addiction isn't just about cravings or bad habits, it's about something deeper, something inside us that, unless addressed, keeps pulling us back into destructive cycles. Mike L. explains that addiction isn't just a two-part problem. Most people assume addiction is about the physical craving, the way the body reacts when it gets a substance and starts needing more. And then there's the mental obsession, the irrational belief that you need that substance, even when you know it's causing harm. But he introduces a third layer, the spiritual malady, and this is the missing piece. Because here's the thing. People in AA will tell you they've quit drinking for years, even decades, and still felt miserable, still felt restless, still felt like something was off. Some even went back to drinking, knowing it would ruin them. Why? Because the spiritual malady was still running the show. So, what exactly is it? Mike L. describes it as restlessness, irritability, and discontent. It's a feeling of being out of sync with yourself and the world. It shows up as trouble in relationships, emotional instability, a sense of uselessness, constant fear, depression, and a nagging unhappiness, even when everything in your life should be fine. Sound familiar? Now, here's the thing. This isn't just about addiction. This is about all of us. Because the spiritual malady is the very thing that keeps us reaching. For a drink, for a cigarette, for a new relationship, for the next achievement, for the next distraction. We're all looking for something to fill that gap, to quiet the unease, to make the feeling go away. But the moment we get what we thought we wanted, it fades, and we start chasing again. Because the truth is, the thing we're searching for isn't out there. It never was. And that's where the solution comes in. But before we go there, let's sit with this for a second. Let's get really honest. Have you ever had a moment where everything in your life was objectively good, but you still felt off? You still felt like something wasn't quite right? That's the spiritual malady at work. That's the part of you that believes happiness is always just around the corner, just one more achievement away, just one more self-improvement project away, just one more fix away, but it never is. Because the problem isn't outside of us, it's inside. And here's the core of it. At the heart of the spiritual malady is self-centeredness. Now, I know that word can feel like a slap in the face because most of us don't think we're self-centered. We care about others. We try to be good people. But this isn't about being selfish in the usual sense. It's about living inside a constant filter of me, me, me. Not in an arrogant way, but in an obsessive way. How does this affect me? What does this mean for me? Why does this always happen to me? Am I good enough? Am I safe? Am I loved? Am I happy? That's the spiritual malady. That's the trap. Because the more we obsess over ourselves, our happiness, our struggles, our pain, the more disconnected we feel from life itself. And that's where the solution comes in. Now, if you've ever heard of the 12 steps in Alcoholics Anonymous, you know that they don't just focus on quitting drinking. That's not actually the point. The point is to go through a process that dissolves the self-centered fear at the core of the spiritual malady, to stop living inside the illusion that you have to control everything, that your happiness depends on getting everything just right. The point is to surrender. Now, I know, surrender is a loaded word. It sounds like giving up, but that's not what this is. This is about letting go of the illusion that you are in charge of making yourself whole, that you can think your way into peace, that if you just fix one more thing, you'll finally be okay. Because you won't. Not like that. The only way out of the spiritual malady is to step out of yourself, to shift from self obsession to connection, to stop asking, how do I fix this? And start asking, how can I serve? How can I connect? How can I just be here? And that's where the real freedom is. See, people think recovery is about not drinking, or not smoking, or not doing whatever self destructive thing they've been doing. But it's not. Recovery is about learning how to live without needing an escape. It's about realizing that there was never anything missing in the first place, that the hole you were trying to fill wasn't real. So let's get practical. If this is resonating with you, if you're realizing that maybe you've been stuck in this cycle, what do? What's the next step? The first step is awareness, just seeing the pattern for what it is. Recognizing that the unease, the restlessness, the discontent, it's not about your circumstances. It's not about what you have or don't have. It's about a perspective that keeps you trapped in your own mind. The second step is letting go of the belief that you have to figure this out alone. The biggest lie the spiritual malady tells you is that you're isolated, that no one understands, that it's all on you to fix it. But the truth is, you don't have to. That's why things like the 12 steps exist. That's why things like spiritual practice exist. Not because they're magic, but because they give you a way out of the endless me loop. And the third step, shift your focus. Instead of asking, how do I feel better? Try asking, how can I help someone today? Instead of analyzing your own happiness, try showing up fully for a conversation with a friend. Instead of looking for something to fix, try just being here, really here. Because the moment you step out of the self-obsession, the spiritual malady loses its grip. So here's the challenge for you. If you're listening to this and thinking, yeah, this is me, ask yourself, do I feel restless even when life is objectively good? Do I struggle to let go of control? Do I feel like something is always missing? Have I replaced one bad habit with another, hoping it would fix me? And if the answer is yes, maybe, just maybe, it's not about the thing you're trying to quit. Maybe it's about something deeper. And the good news, you don't have to fix it alone. The way out is through surrender, through connection, through shifting your focus from self to something bigger. So that's it for today on Methodcast. If this resonated with you, sit with it. Let it sink in. And maybe, instead of looking for the next fix, the next distraction, the next thing to make you feel whole, you try something different. You let go. Because maybe the missing piece was never missing at all. If this resonated with you, subscribe, like, make a comment, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Together, we're breaking free from addiction and building lives that are full of joy, purpose, and freedom. Until next time, keep celebrating your wins, stay curious, and never forget, you've got this.